everybody. Today we're going to be cooking some curry. This one is called Vegan Red Lentil Sweet Potato Curry, and I'm actually going to make modifications on it. So it's just how it goes. I'll put a recipe in there for you, and that's just kind of a guideline. You can go off of that and then make it however you want. But right off the bat, we're going to be doing something that's not in the recipe, and that is to use tofu in it. You can put tofu in curry. I love tofu in curry, so I don't like to just put it in right out of the package, because it just is kind of a soft texture. I like it to have a little bit more of a meaty, kind of a firmer texture. So I use this firm tofu, and you just take the block out of the packaging, and then you cube it up. And then to get it to not be so kind of soft and mushy, like it comes out of the package, and get a little bit of a meatier, kind of a chewier texture, I like to bake it first. Some people fry it, but baking is easy because you can just start it. You can get it in the oven or whatever you're baking it in, and then have it doing its thing while you're doing the rest of your recipe. I happen to have an air fryer. If you have an air fryer, that's great. You can just take your cubes and you can just throw them in your air fryer. If you don't have an air fryer, which I don't in my other kitchen that I work at, I just turn my oven on. I have a convection oven, but if you don't have a convection oven, it doesn't matter. Put it on about 400 degrees, 15 minutes or so, plus or minus, just to get whatever texture. It starts to brown a little bit on the outside. In the air fryer, you have to watch that. 20 minutes is a little too long. And after about 5 or 10 minutes, you take it and shake it up a little bit and put it back in. Probably total 10, 15 minutes or so. And then it'll have that nice texture that I like, and then I'll throw that into my curry. So the other thing I like to have with curry is I like to have rice, and I always use brown rice. I don't like white rice. I don't like white bread, because it takes all of the good bran, the good fiber out of the grains. And the fiber is really important, how the sugars are processed in your body. So I always use brown rice. And so I have an Instant Pot here. There are many different ways of cooking brown rice. One way that's really reproducibly, really perfect, in my opinion, is to cook rice like pasta. This is not that way, but I'm just going to mention that to you because it's a really unique way. And you can Google cook rice like pasta, but basically it's simple. You throw however much rice you want into a pot of boiling water, a lot more water than you would use normally when you expect the rice to take up all the water, more like what you would do when you're cooking pasta. You put a lot of water in, you bring it to a boil, you throw your rice in, and with brown rice you let it go for 30 minutes at a boil. It doesn't have to be a hard boil, but just keep it boiling. And then after 30 minutes, you drain all the water off, keep it in the same pot, take it off of the heat, put a lid on it, 10 minutes, take the lid off, and your rice is perfect. Another way that works really well is with the Instant Pot. This is just another really easy way to get rice going while you're doing other things. And the formula in the Instant Pot is 1 cup brown rice to 1 1/4 cups water. Throw your lid on, just hit pressure cook, and then you want that to be 22 minutes. And then you just let it do its thing. Okay, and the next thing we're going to get going with this is the lentils. The recipe is red lentil curry, but we're actually going to use the brown lentils because that's happened to be what I have. They cook a little bit longer than red lentils, but I like them because they keep their texture a little bit better. Red lentils tend to get mushy. So for this, we're going to use about 2.5 cups of water, a 1/2 cup of lentils, and then we're going to bring that to a boil, and then cover it, simmer it for about 20 minutes. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our ginger and our garlic ready to go. Just throw the peeled ginger chunks into the food processor along with the garlic, and then just run the food processor and it grinds it all up nicely. Ginger is kind of hard to get into small pieces, so the little food processor comes in really handy for that. Cube the onions, peel the sweet potato, chop my sweet potato into slices, and then cube them. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is get our curry started. So we're going to put a little bit of olive oil into our pan that we're going to cook the soup in. To the pan. we're going to throw in our garlic and our ginger mixture. Ginger is good for you, and I really like it, so I use a lot. We're going to stir this a little bit, and it needs just a pinch of salt in there. We're going to add our red curry paste. I'm using this Thai Kitchen red curry paste. It's nice because it's vegan. Not all curry pastes are vegan, but this one is. So red curry paste, Thai Kitchen, easy to find in most markets. And we used 3 tablespoons. We just added it here to the onion, ginger, and garlic mixture. And then you stir it around and let it cook for a couple of minutes. Now we're going to add our vegetables. We have our zucchini here. We have a mixture of some green zucchini and some yellow squash that I happen to have a little bit of. And then we're going to put our sweet potato in there, stir this around a little bit, and we'll let that cook for a few minutes. So the next thing we need the zest of 1 lime. So you just take a lime and you just zest it all the way around. You don't want to go too deep. Just the zest is the top dark green part. And you just keep going around. And you can just watch as you go, and you can see that the green is gone. And then you just want to do that until all the green is gone on the whole lime. So now we're adding the can of coconut milk. This is full fat organic coconut milk. The other 3/4 of a cup of water. And we're adding the lime zest, the 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, the salt and the sugar. Put the lime juice in there. We can turn the heat up a little bit on our stove because we need to get this back up to a boil now. The mixture is boiling, so we're going to turn it down to about medium, and we're going to put a lid on it, and then we're going to let that simmer for about 10 minutes. Our curry has been simmering for almost 10 minutes. And you just want to make sure that the sweet potato is kind of getting fork tender a little bit, and the zucchini also. And then we're going to add some broccoli. And the broccoli doesn't take as long to cook, and you don't want it to get mushy. So we're going to add that in now, along with the lentils that cooked for about 20 minutes. And we took those off and drained those, and then we put those in. And then we're going to add our tofu at this time as well, out of our air fryer. And then this isn't in the recipe, it's in the notes at the bottom of the recipe, but you can add some peanut butter too. I like peanut butter in my curry. It kind of gives it a massaman curry flavor to it, a little bit of richness. So we add a little bit of peanut butter there. While that's going, we're going to chop up the basil. So we roughly chop that up. So I've added the basil, and then I'm stirring that in, and the broccoli is starting to get to the point where I want it to be. I like the broccoli to have a little texture and not be mushy. So we're just about done. We'll swing over and show you the rice coming out of the Instant Pot now. And then we have our nice rice here, nice brown rice, just like we like it. Okay, so our red curry with lentils and sweet potatoes is done. So what I like to do to plate it is I like to take some brown rice and put it in my bowl. Take some curry and smother the rice. So I throw a little more lime juice on top of that. And then you can garnish it with something like some roasted peanuts or some more basil if you have it. Bon appetit!